No, I had boob sweat the other day, so I do have boobs. Thank you very much. All right, what are we up to? Episode
8.
Episode 8 is great.
Wow, that was good.
Poet and I didn't know it.
Hi, I'm Michaela.
I'm Tanya. We moved halfway across the world for the plot.
We can't afford therapy, so we decided to plaster our problems all over the internet.
Welcome to the shit show.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Oh, no.
All right, episode 8.
Everything we don't know so far.
I want to say it's been a week, but we said that
Oh
for the
my
past
God.
4 weeks.
At what point is it not a week? It has been a week. I don't even know where to. I don't even know where this week started. Fuck.
Honestly, no.
When did the shower happen?
The shower happened.
It was Wednesday.
See, all the days just blend into one for me. I think it
do.
was Wednesday. It got really bad.
Yes, because I had my interview that day and I had to
Yeah.
do it stanky. It was gross. Yeah.
Wasn't in person though, which was good.
No, thank God. No smell-o-vision over here. Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday it started flooding.
Yes, Tuesday night we both were like, oh, this isn't draining anymore.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's right. And then it came up.
And we're like, we'll pull our hair out. We pulled the hair out and it got worse. So
Yeah. What a narrative.
what a narrative.
Yeah. In the midst of life. So moving overseas is great until something goes wrong and you don't speak the language of tradespeople.
Yeah.
And you don't have any guidance.
Yeah.
Someone's put us in charge of what's going on and I'm just a girl.
Literally.
The amount of time that I'm just a girl ran through my head this week. Oh my
know.
God.
But do you know what my initial reaction was? Oh, it'll sort itself out.
Literally, I was like, it'll drain.
It'll drain.
This happens all the time. It'll drain. It's fine.
It's been draining fine up until this point. So I was like, maybe it's just having a day. Like we all have those days. Like
I know.
it'll drain.
I know.
But it didn't. It got worse. And yeah, we got to the point where the water was not, because our bathroom is like a wet room. When the shower drains, it kind of just like seeps down into like the drainage. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to like enclose it. So it wasn't draining. So the water would just build up and the whole bathroom would just flood.
Yeah.
So we got to the point where we couldn't shower.
No.
We were like, no, can't shower, which was fun. And
It was great. Thank God we had another person in Berlin.
yes,
Because it would have been much more treacherous otherwise, I think.
it was getting bad. And the fact that it broke on hair wash day was even worse.
Oh my God.
I was at the point where I was like, I'll book a hotel for the night. With what money, Tanya? I don't know. But that's when you feel that disgusting, I will never take it for granted being able to shower. Because when you feel that disgusting,
Your mental health gets affected.
you just want to shower.
Yeah.
You feel like you
Yeah.
need to scrub clean.
Yeah, it was like I was itching to get out of my skin. And
Yeah.
I was just like, and sleeping, like it's almost like you were wearing a dirty, I don't know, it was just nasty. We weren't that bad, like we really weren't.
I'm so glad this is going on the internet.
Oh, so am I. So great. But you begin to smell yourself and then you're like, maybe that's me when it's someone else. But because we both exercise, I feel like.
Yeah, that made it worse.
Yeah.
And it was, of course, it was like a couple of like the muggiest days we've ever had here. Michaela came through. She messaged a lot of plumbers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the male in this relationship.
Honestly.
After this week, I have discovered that I am the male in this relationship. I pulled
when
out.
it comes to like stuff like that, like reaching out to people.
Yeah.
But you're so good at it.
It's
You're so good at it.
It's just because I want things done. I was feeling disgusting. And first of the thing was Drummer Boy's shower. I was like, we're going to go see him and we're going to go have a shower.
Yes, we trekked all the way there.
Yeah, so thank you, Drummer Boy.
Yeah.
And then, the next morning I was shitty. I was so shitty. I was just shitty at I was like, this isn't going to fix itself. I got someone out. They couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
So I was like...
Someone from like Co-Tasker. So
Yeah. So because that's what our landlord told us to do.
Yeah.
And then the next day I woke up and called the emergency guy. You should have heard this phone call. I was like, it rang. Which we don't have a call. Like we don't have call minutes either.
Yeah,
so I had to use Drummer Boy's phone to call. So I called, it rang, he picked up and said something that I didn't understand. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I only speak English. Is that okay? And he's like, no. And then hung up. And I was like, okay, we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to figure this out in a different way. So then action stations, I went and Googled plumbers near me and inquired with like 3 or 4 different people, which the only one that replied that could come on the same day was the guy that we ended up.
Yeah.
But he couldn't give us a quote until afterwards, which was a whole different thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because it happened, got really bad Wednesday. We couldn't shower. Thursday was a public holiday, so no one could really come out. And in Germany, you can't make noise. So they couldn't use machines to fix it.
Which I didn't realize how loud, but lucky, that they didn't. It was a loud fucking machine.
So then Friday, we got that person in.
Yeah.
Because like we had to, or else we would have had to wait till Monday.
Yeah.
Because Saturday and Sunday, they couldn't use the machines.
No, it was chaos. And we had a dollar amount in our heads because the first guy was like, oh, come on Monday and do it with $350. And I was like, all right, cool. This guy is not a plumber. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He talked about a machine, whatever. But then the guy who did come, the actual plumber, was like, I can't give you a dollar amount until I finish. So he showed me like how he worked out the numbers. We were both like, math, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get out of this unscathed.
Again, he didn't speak English. So we're working on like Google Translate. He'd type something, we'd type something.
It said meters, but I have a feeling it meant by the hour. I don't know.
It said meters because on the invoice it says meters too.
Okay.
But
that's a lot of meters. How many meters did we have?
No, but like he didn't put in everything else that he used as well in that quote.
Sure.
So when we did the math, we were like, okay, so it's not going to be, we were like, that's really cheap. It's like 200 euros or something.
Yeah. And there's no call out fee, so it shouldn't be too much. But this is just adulting, and I haven't had to adult like this before.
I don't know how a plumber works.
Neither do I. And that was evident when he finished the job. He was here for what, like 2.5 hours? We're both sitting around being like, that's a lot of noise. That's a lot of, lucky he was good looking. Good. Yeah. Anyway, trying to correspond with someone through Google Translate text.
Yeah.
Like I said to him, I was like, is it bad? And he was like, I don't understand. And so I typed it up, and then he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
It was like big problem.
Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. But you don't know. Like, I don't know. He wasn't telling me in between or being like, this is a serious problem we have to worry about.
We could hear him like swearing.
Oh my God. Scheisen. That's all I could hear. I was like, oh God.
Oh, it was so funny.
2.5 hours. And then afterwards we were both kind of like sitting here being like, if it's below this, then we're lucky. If it's below this, then we're lucky. He's been here a while now. And then he drew up the moment he drew up the invoice, he walked it over. It was like waiting to hear whether or not, I don't know.
I know,
it was like a moment. And then he showed me the number, and both of us weak at the knees, and not in a good way. No, like we were both like, oh, that's a lot of money. 826 euro later. But this is the thing that I realized about this whole, and you were talking about how I just go out and do stuff. Straight away I was like, well, someone's got to pay it. So I went to the other room and moved the money, and like it has to happen. Yeah. And then you work out the other shit after. But
also the fact that it had to happen, like we had to pay straight away. That was a shock because I was like, give me an invoice, give me like 2 days to find the money.
I need to like internalize this, get over it, and then pay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what the norm is. And I don't know what the norm is to get a plumber back at home. I don't know what the normal thing to do here or the normal rate here is in Germany or... So, yeah.
And I am very glad, though, because he offered us a discount without an invoice. So, obviously, without tax, okay, we'll take that away. Never mind. But I'm glad that we got it. Yeah. It all sorted out in the end, and it does. Like, finances always do. But that was yesterday was a fucking day. It was long. And then...
And this is why you have insurance.
It's true. Yeah. Insurance.
Yeah.
But then 45 minutes later, I had my final interview for this really important job. Yeah. That I had to then get on call and be like, I'm fantastic. Please, everything's fine. Just hire me.
Do you know what being an adult is? Compartmentalizing. Is that the word?
Yep.
Yeah, compartmentalizing. It's switching from one to another.
Yep.
And just, okay, I got to do this. I'm going to do this. This is this mode. All right. Oh, I have to do this. So I'm going to switch to this mode. Because that's what you literally did. You were household, like head of household, getting this freaking bathroom fixed. And then we broke down for a little bit and, you know, had a bit of a freak out, and then switched on. Hi, I'm delightful. Hi, me.
I remember though, you were like, we started to freak out and I was like, stop.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this. I need to start prepping mentally for this thing. Once it's over, then we can do this. And you
And then
literally
I
just be
just-
like, whoop,
Yeah.
put it in another box, put it to the side.
I just started cleaning. I was like, if I clean it, it doesn't exist. If I
Yeah.
clean it, it doesn't exist.
While I'm trying to get a job. It was fucking chaos. And it was 9 p.m. by the time everything was over last night. And I was just like, I'm done. And yet both of us didn't sleep last night.
But the thing was, like, you know, I'm always the kind of person, like, if it's a shit day, I'm going to go to bed. Tomorrow's a new day. But I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't want a new day. I was like, I'm scared. I'm exhausted. I can't deal with whatever tomorrow's going to throw at.
But it's been all right so far.
It's not been too bad.
Learning how to adult. But, you know.
It's lessons. And everyone's like kind of on their own journey, because it's funny. Here I am, literally fighting for our life, trying to shower in a foreign country.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wake up at 4 a.m. to congratulate someone because they got engaged. I'm like, yay.
Isn't it crazy? It's crazy. It's so, and like no one's seen the chaos or felt the dirt or any of that stuff. They've just like,
And then we FaceTime, we're like, hi.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
good,
God.
life's great.
my mum, her solution to me being really stressed this week, you and Tanya should just go buy one of those little bottles of Prosecco and buy some cheese and wine and go sit in the park. And I was like,
Do you know how expensive cheese is?
yeah, I was like, that'll fix everything. And I think also you were talking about what adulting is, compartmentalizing. It's putting Band-Aids. Putting Band-Aids over things to make yourself feel better for a minute.
Yep. Lots of little Band-Aids throughout the day.
Yeah. And you deserve a treat for making it through the day. But we got, look, it all sorted out.
We have showered.
Yes. And
We are clean.
Yeah. Sorted out the money with the landlord. It's
Yeah.
all fine. Which I knew would happen.
Yeah.
Like,
but when it's happening and
you don't know.
it's stressful.
And what I realized this morning when I woke up and saw that everything was all good, it was the fear of the unknown. It wasn't. It wasn't my worry. If I'd known, if she'd been like, yeah, all good, I would have been like, yeah, here's my money, not a stress.
Yeah.
But it was just the uncertainty that was fucking scary.
When we were 2 days without a shower and we were trekking, smelling with our toiletries on our way to shower at Drummer Boys, it was that moment I was like, how the fuck did we get to this point? Like, how have I wound up living in Germany 2 days without a shower and our shower's broken? And I'm now hauling my ass to someone else's apartment to shower.
In a boy's bathroom.
Boys' bathroom.
And there is I don't care what TikTok says, there is a difference between a girl's bathroom and a boy's bathroom.
There is. And you know what? You could go to a penthouse and it will still be a boy's bathroom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
No,
There's
I
a
agree.
difference.
There's a difference.
It's what's in the bathroom as well. You know, it's
A
having
single toothbrush and nothing else.
Yeah.
100%.
Girls' bathroom, you
100%.
have everything.
Yeah. And you can use their shower gel or whatever.
It
Like
smells
it's
nice.
fine. Yeah.
There's moisturizers, there's sprays,
There's
there's
a-
Q-tips, there's tissues,
There's a bin next to the toilet for girls' things, you know?
Yes, there's a bath mat.
Yeah, fuck. True.
There's a working shower.
Do boys not dry between their toes?
How do they dry between their toes?
Do they? That's a question.
See,
for
I
our
imagine
viewers.
like guys just getting out of the shower, shaking and walking off.
Literally that. No, I'm sure there's more to it. Boys out there who's listening, all of them.
Anyways.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
How did we get here? I've had a few of those moments in the past couple of weeks where I'm just walking around outside and I'm like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
I'm living in Germany.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know about you, but I feel like it happened real quick.
it did happen really quick.
Because your 20s go real quick. We're still in our 20s, guys. It's fine.
Yeah. And I think your 20s, I don't know, it's such a weird age because it's like this decade where you change so much from when you're 20 and then as soon as you turn 30, I think things change.
I don't think your 20s start until you're 23.
But there's such a difference between 20 to 25 and I think 25 to
Huge.
30 because
Huge
when I look at
difference.
people 25 to 30, I'm like, wow, you are adults.
Yes.
When I
20
look-
to 25? No,
Babies.
you're children. Your
babies.
children. You still look like kids.
Yeah. It's but I feel like it's such a decade where you can just fuck up and make all these different choices and mistakes, and it's kind of like just
I'm really glad that this
time.
is recorded. I'm going to pull this out for you and be like, just remember when you said we're allowed to fuck up and we're allowed to not know what's going on?
Yeah, you should make so many mistakes in your 20s.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have everything figured out. The fact that they make you try and figure everything out as soon as you leave high school, like, it baffles me.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that there must be a neurological thing that happens between 20 and 25 and then 25 onwards that makes it must make you more mature. I was going to say something.
It's such like a weird time because everyone is on so many different paths.
Yeah. And I think that this probably isn't popular opinion, but I think that if you make lifelong decisions that you are in between 20 and 25 and you're still in them, you're not even fully developed as a human yet. You're not who you're going to be when you're 25, 26, 27. Things change so much that it's like if you've already bricks and mortar, lay down the concrete for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You might not be that person anymore.
Yeah, that's so weird to me because when you turn 20, that's only 20 years that you've been like a child.
Mm-hmm. I believe that like 21, you're a 1-year-old adult.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that like some people are 25, settled down, already have 1 or 2 kids, then they have the rest of their lives.
Correct.
If they live till like 90, that's
A long time.
70 years.
Yeah.
Being that person.
But that's what I mean. If you're paving too hard early on.
Yeah.
What if you're like, fuck, but I've already paved and I don't want to be here anymore, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, I think that you would have that look at midlife crises and things like that. I think people change constantly, but...
See, we're smart. We're having all our crises now.
I fucking hope so. I hope we're getting it all out the way and it's smooth sailing from here. That'd be nice.
It would be nice.
Do you think you've changed as a person from 18 to where you are now?
Yeah. Like when I look back to when I was 18, I'm like, you were a child. Mm-hmm. You were...
I knew you when you were 18. You were a child.
I was a child.
So was I.
Yeah.
But, yes.
But I felt like such an adult.
Yes, you do. But you do it every age. You're like, I know it all. No, if I met my 18-year-old self tomorrow, I would give her a cuddle and be like, darling, it's okay. It's going to be all right. Like, just relax.
I would laugh at her a little bit.
Yeah. What are you wearing?
And then I would tell her to relax.
Yeah.
I would be like, make way more mistakes.
Oh my God.
Like,
oh my God.
I think I worked too hard when I was 18, from like 18 to 20, 22. I was working full time already because I wanted money to travel.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, same.
And I feel like that's why now I'm taking the time to kind of just have fun and party.
I say this to you all the time. This life that we have is like, I missed out on my early 20s for multiple different reasons, which maybe we'll get into maybe today. Yeah. So I'm 21 reborn.
Yeah.
I'm making the mistakes now because I had to be so fucking serious back then.
18, you're a child. 20, you're a child. 21, you're a child. And I just thought I was like so settled.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why a lot of people do start thinking about settling down. Like by the time you're 21, 22, you finish your degree, you've kind of got a full-time job. They kind of think that's the next step.
But that's the roadmap that we're given. That's what we're told. It's like you finish the school, you go to the uni, you get the job, you buy the house. Bad order, but you get married at some point and the kids. But then you get to 30 and you've got 2 kids and a house and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
What happened?
And then you've got 70 years left.
Yeah, exactly. That's a long ass time.
Or 50 or 60. It's still a really long time.
Yeah.
I think it takes longer than 20 years to figure out who you are as a person.
Oh my God. You haven't experienced enough.
I think we've said this before, but I don't know how people who have dated since they're 18 and are now in their late 20s are still dating. Mm-hmm. Because me back then is such a completely different person to me now. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to date me back then. No, and you wouldn't. I mean, there's a certain amount of growth you can have with the right partner, I believe. Yeah, but there's also not. You know, there's also you can change.
Yeah, And maybe you come back at some point in time, but I just feel like growing up on your own and being independent is so important.
Yeah. What do you think of when someone's in their 20s? Like, how would you best describe your 20s? Like, at this point.
For me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah.
I think I wasted a bit of time, but I didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
I think that my circumstances made it really difficult to be doing anything else, and that's why I have like almost a quarter life crisis, like a different lease of life. So my dad died 2 weeks before my 21st birthday. So I had to, and he'd been sick for like 3 years before that. So I was on schoolies. I remember I was 18 and I got a phone call and my parents were at the doctor's and I thought it was weird. So that's kind of where it all began, when the testing started, and then the deterioration happened from there. So that happening to an 18, 19, 20, nearly 21-year-old girl makes you grow up real fucking fast, because you're not just dealing with, you know, finishing school and graduating and doing all these exciting things. You're dealing with having to be an assistant to your mother, a caregiver to your brothers. You have to grow up so fast.
And that's the thing, because when you're 18, 19, you are dealing with stupid problems like high school, you know, romances, high school gossip and pettiness and going out and, you know, having like a part-time job that you really don't care about. Like, they're your biggest problems.
Sure. And for me, it was like,
life or death.
Yeah. And literally, and, you know, dad going into palliative care, and I didn't know what that meant. So someone had to tell me that that's where they put people before they die. Like, I didn't know that because I was a fucking child. So that all happened. We had a 21st birthday party planned for me, which I had to cancel. We then ended up going to Bali, but that all happened. And then dealing with the grief after that. So that was, you know, 22, 23, 20 fucking 8. Like, do
you feel because you had I don't want to say grow up, but deal with circumstances that no one should have to deal with at ever. That would be nice. But at that age, such like a pivotal age, you felt like, I'm a grown up, I'm dealing with grown up shit, I might as well just go on to being like the next stage.
Honestly, and I thought about this a bit, I think I was just frantic. I was grasping at what felt good at the time. Like, I went back to work 3 weeks after my dad's funeral because I didn't know what else to do. I was like, I don't want to sit and feel like shit. All my other friends are going out and working and having fun and doing all that stuff. So I wouldn't say that I just kind of fell into it per se. I was just trying to figure out how to feel good at that point. And apparently that was being in shitty relationships, and which, you know, like I was looking for something secure, I think, at that time.
But like I was saying, you felt like an adult because of the circumstances. So did you feel like, I need an adult relationship, I need to, you know, move on with my life, I need to become this person that I feel I am, or these circumstances have brought out in me?
For sure. I think that you want everyone externally to think that you're okay. So you're in a good relationship, you've got good friends, which I was never in a good relationship, but I lied to everyone around me, telling them that I was in a good relationship, because you don't want another like, oh, poor her, oh, poor this, or like I was the girl with the dead dad for ages and lost a lot of friends because of it. So I was in a really shitty relationship at that time, and he was an absolute, I won't say what I would like to say on here. He was not a good person, but I put up with it because we could go to events together and, it's Michaela and so, and you know, we looked like we knew what we were doing, and he was nice to me in front of people. So that was good.
But now, who you are today, looking back on that, are you like, I'm still on that journey, or are you like, I realized that was the wrong path, and it was this path that I got on because of these circumstances, and then you shifted? Or do you think you just kind of...
I think...
That made sense. I don't know if that made sense.
It did. I think the biggest shift for me happened when I came to the Netherlands the first time. So only 2 years or so ago did I finally be like, oh, this is what life is like with just me. And I'm actually an all right person to be around. I'm insane, but I'm fun. Like, before that, I was again, grasping for that, like, as long as I have something secure in my life, then I feel secure. Whereas I can be that security for myself. And that shift didn't happen until I gave myself the space for it. But I didn't give myself the space for it before that. Because,
I feel like when you're 18, you are discovering who you are and you're trying new things and you're just out there having fun. So you do discover a lot of different things. But I feel like you were so caged in with your circumstances that it kind of just pushed you in one direction.
Sure. And it's, like I said, only the last couple of years that I've kind of been able to sit back and be like, but what is it that I want and who am I and what do I like and what don't I like? Like, I feel like I'm literally 21 again. Like doing all of that growth that most people do at that age, I'm only just doing now.
Second, third, fourth question. Anyway.
Go for it.
Now, do you think this experience is heightened because of your circumstances? Or do you think when everyone turns 25, they have is it 25 where your frontal lobe develops?
I believe so.
So do you think everyone has that shift?
That's a good question.
And was yours more significant because of everything?
Well,
Whereas, like, for me, I felt like I'm going to say grow up again. I don't think I'm ever going to grow up. But I was like, wait, I actually don't like this. I don't like who I am. I don't like who I'm with. And that was kind of like my shift.
I think it has to be circumstantial. Yeah, I think it has to be circumstantial. It's funny, like, thinking about the motive of us even moving here. That was the biggest push. I need to get the fuck away from everyone.
Yeah.
And that was the shift for me.
Yeah, it's space to kind of just think.
Yeah. And
yeah.
grow on your own terms.
Yes.
Not because, someone's proposed to you or because of whatever. Like, you're growing and figuring out what you want on your own.
Yes.
Which is important. Frontal lobe, responsible for higher cognitive functions like planning, impulse control, and decision making, continues to develop throughout childhood and adolescence, with its full maturation typically occurring around the age of 25.
So being able to make better decisions. Yeah.
Which
that makes sense, because when you're like 18, you're just going with the flow and like, this is fun, this is good.
What are my friends doing?
Yeah, what are my friends doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. I don't know any 18-year-old that would make moves like this, or if they did, they had to mature real quick as well.
Yeah, and be like, you guys are stupid. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's so true. You just you feel more secure in yourself. I think that's what it is, and you can make decisions for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we've both dated older men.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about yeah.
We've both dated older men, and we've seen a lot of other people turn 30. And we've seen a lot of people talk about this as well. It's that turning 30 where everyone panics. And it's still a while away for us. What, 4 years?
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
5 years. Depends on who. You're older than me.
I have 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels like 30 that's the end.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I don't understand. That's what I mean. Like, people like block out the 20s. And then it's like, bam, 30, you should have your shit together.
Which is wild, because I have friends who are like 32. 32 sounds younger than 30 to me.
Yeah.
There's the big 30 for some
Everyone
reason.
panics.
Yeah.
So many people I've heard, I'm nearly 30. Oh, I'm nearly 30. And I feel like, is there another development that happens? Because a lot of men in their 30s.
Oh my God.
Kind of just want to, it's like something switches and they're like, I need to marry.
It's literally
I need land and I need children.
And I need to put my name on your name because I will continue the bloodline. Like, what the fuck? It's funny. So, yes, I have dated someone and they turned 30 when we were together, and it was 6 months. It was almost like he was 29 and a half, and then it was like, bam, I want to learn about all of these crazy things, and now I want a house, and I want you to bake bread for me. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
When they're 28, they're fun, they're frivolous. Let's travel, let's collect art, let's live in an apartment. And then all of a sudden, I've bought a house by the time I'm 30. In like 2 months, you decided to buy a house.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. And not even the priorities, but even if they don't have the infrastructure to make those decisions, they're just like,
do it.
Well, I want to do this now. And you're like, okay, all
Because I'm 30. I'm turning 30.
In 2 months' time, and the clock is ticking. All of a
You
sudden,
don't have a clock that's ticking.
literally though, it's like, why are you freaking out? You can have kids forever, man. Fucking chill.
Many of them shouldn't.
Yeah, it's true. Well, shouldn't have a
Yeah.
say anyway. But yeah, it's so true. But even like, I don't know. I think that my view of 30 has definitely changed. Since
I'm going with 30s as the new 20s. Let's do it all over again. Let's do it properly.
With hopefully some money behind us. That'd be grand. But it's true. Like they say that. They say that the 30s are the new 20s, but you've got a little bit more smarts and you've got a little more funds, hopefully.
Well, we definitely have more smarts.
So many
that
smarts.
Sentence, yeah.
We're smart.
We have more smarts. I feel like I have less money, or things are just more expensive. We're waiting on the money.
Yeah, but we have more experience, and it again goes back to that. It can be so much more fruitful because you have figured out what you like and what you don't like. In your 20s, you're in relationships because you think that you have to be. You're with getting treated like shit from people who you're like, oh, but I've known you my whole life. By 30, you're like, fuck this shit. I don't care. You can go away.
And I'm going to focus
tired.
on me.
Tired.
Like, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this.
I used to have my mum say things like, but women care less. Like I don't wear makeup very often anymore. I like leave whatever. I
think that's a Berlin thing too.
But it's true. I've always been like that. But the older I get, the less I care.
Yeah. I think Berlin's a great place for your 20s because everyone is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And no one cares what you're doing.
Nothing is
You could literally walk out one day looking like one person, the next day looking like another, and people wouldn't question it.
When I put outfits together these days living here, I think exactly that. There are things that were in my wardrobe that I was like, oh, I bought this, but I don't know, like it's a bit much or it's a bit this or it's a bit that. Now I'm like, I'm going to try it. Like that beret that I had, that was back in the Netherlands, but I had a beret and I bought it and it looked really cute, but I didn't want to wear it out and I thought it looked wanky. And then one day I was like, I'm going to practice. I'm going to wear it out for a whole day. And the photos from that day looked fucking great. Yeah. But for some reason I was too scared and now I'm like, well, I don't really fucking care.
Yeah. I'm just going to wear it.
Exactly.
No, I do like that about Berlin is that you can... It's so like unique and everyone's just doing their own thing. No one cares.
No.
I wear so much less makeup when I go out now. I say I put whatever on. I still care about what I wear.
You just don't want to wear colours in Berlin.
I don't. I feel
that.
like you get to Berlin and you're just like, no colour. Okay.
Do you remember me? I was going to get filmed. I was getting interviewed for something and I was wearing that blue dress.
Yeah.
And on the train, there is a thing apparently about Germans who they stare. They don't say much to you, but they just stare. They call it the German stare.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was like one of those music videos where everyone else is wearing black and you're the only one in colour. And people were just looking at me like there was something wrong with me. And I was like,
yeah,
just wearing blue.
Bright colours aren't a thing here.
No.
Whereas in the Netherlands, bright colours were everywhere.
Yeah.
So we've had to we still need to, but we need to flip our wardrobes.
Yeah.
We need to go back to Melbourne a little bit, a bit more moodier. In my head, I've divided the 20s up into two. I went through 20 to 25 and now I'm in 25 onwards.
Sure.
Prioritizing things from, I'm going to say 18, not 20s, but it's in that. Prioritizing things then to what I prioritize now, completely different.
Totally different.
I invest so much more of my spare time into myself now.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was younger, I would invest so much time into my jobs, into other people that did not care or did not reciprocate it. But I was like, yeah, but I want to be helpful. I want to be good. I want them to like me.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, if you don't like me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the time, I don't like you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're always guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Money. Oh. The amount of stupid shit I bought. Stupid shit.
100%.
So much stupid
shit. Dumb stuff. Yeah. I couldn't even tell you what I was spending money on because it was just, you go to the supermarket and blow $30 without even thinking.
Yeah. I was listening to Mel Robinson's In Your 20s podcast and she was like, stop spending your money on stupid shit because you do. You have this grown-up money as soon as you get a job.
100%.
And you think it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
I would buy... I remember... This sticks into my head this day. And I'm so... I don't even want to say this out loud.
Ooh.
I spent $500 on one activewear order.
Holy guacamole. I never spent money like that.
Who did I think I was?
Wild.
And that I did it once, and ever since then I'm like, that was so stupid. Such a waste of money. Just because I wanted to be cool. I wanted to have the cool activewear.
You also, there's a sense of security knowing you can get that back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because we were living back home with jobs. Like, I wonder if, I mean, we talk about it now. I don't know if I would have made that shift and know what's important versus what's not unless I had been unemployed for this long. Like, now I think about the prospect of having a job and I'm like, I just want like better moisturizer that's actually going to moisturize my skin instead of the cheap shit. Like, back then I didn't care. I was just like, whatever. But I wonder if because we've kind of not had employment for a long time and haven't had the income, whether that's also changed.
But we also know now, like, we have a lot more bills. Back then I didn't have barely any bills.
That's true.
And I want to invest my money into things that are going to last, experiences, you know, worthy shit, things that are going to last me a lot longer than 1 year. I want to, you know, invest in good shoes. I want nice clothes that are going to last, trips, and
that's true.
You know,
and to be fair, like, I've learned a lot of that through living with you. I mean, I haven't necessarily had the funds to be like, I want a really good pair of jeans. Like, sometimes you just got to go cheap and cheerful and pray for the best. But the way you shop, about quality, about all of these different things, I would just be like, that's cute, chuck it in the cart, let's go. But it's interesting, like good shoes. I didn't know that you were supposed to replace your running shoes for every now and then. I feel like, obviously not having a lot of funds, you want things to last long, but also I was never taught that growing up necessarily.
What's like one thing that you bought in your early 20s that you were like, wow, that was a waste of money?
Oh.
Lashes. Oh my God. Spending like $140 like every 2 weeks
on lashes. And it's so funny because I used to I loved how they looked. Yeah. But I hated having to lie there for an hour and a half, having to shower with my face like this. Like, I hated having to keep them dry. I hated how it's the same as they were, and then they would get clumpy and disgusting, and then I'd be like, fuck, I have to lie there for an hour and a half while she does this again just to be pretty for like 2 weeks.
Nails.
Oh my God. Nails. Yeah.
See, now I want to invest my things that are going to last. Laser. Yes, that is an investment that is worth the money.
Botox. Which doesn't, you've got to keep going with that shit. Now I'm trying to think. Supplements, gym supplements that I thought every fat burner and creatine and fucking this.
Having the brand that everyone was having the new flavors.
And the pills the weight loss pills, like that were made of
the skinny teas.
Yes. Oh my God. Every other week
every extract of everything.
Oh my God. It's going to do this for you. Well, I'd better have it. Did anything change? No. Eat better. Fuck me. Eat fats, for God's sake. Fats don't make you fat, guys.
Like food. Like.
Literally. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a big one for me. I spend so much money on
But again, you're following what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It's only when you develop, you're like, hang on, where are you guys
all
getting
that
this
is caffeine
from?
That's just caffeine, and it's just making you go to the toilet to feel better. That's it. Everyone should make.
Oh yeah, mistakes in your 20s.
I feel like it is
apart from spending money.
Yes, a rite of passage to get your heart broken in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you got to date the bad boy.
Yeah,
100%. And if you can, get it out of the way early.
Get it out of the way and don't stick around. That was my biggest mistake, was waiting way too long for him to get better. He'll change. I'll change him. Idiot. He won't. This is public service announcement. He won't change. That is all.
Yeah, they don't change. Nah. Someone shows you who they are, that's who they are.
I saw you repost something on TikTok this morning about Mel Robbins again, and just talking about like someone will show you who they are within the first couple of months.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
100%.
true though. You wait and be like, maybe I can deal with this, maybe I can deal with that. No.
The best advice that I've ever heard is fall in love with the person they are, not the potential you think they have.
Yeah.
because
we do potential. It's because we see the shiny picture at the end and we're like, yeah, but he'll this and he'll that and he'll take care of me.
He says this, he says that.
Yeah, no. If you, yep, that is all.
There isn't any more.
There
don't do it.
Don't. Or do and then leave. And don't wait for 3 years.
Do it for like a month, all right?
Yeah,
get it out of your system.
Of the way. Fuck. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think you should date all the different types.
Yeah.
Just
Just figure it out. And I think
younger, older, same age, you'll realize they're all the same.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Date the artist. Get that out of your system too.
What if we don't want to get it out of our system? What if we're there?
I mean, you are an artist. That's your
true.
people.
It's true. It's my
But
people.
everyone should,
Be curious, I think, is the thing with dating. And don't like nothing. I think my mentality, and I don't know if that's come because my parents were together since I was 16. So I've grown up with like childhood sweethearts, high school, whatever, like that's. So I saw that as a framework of a relationship. I was like, that's how it should be. You should stick it out with your person forever. You don't have to.
Yeah.
No relationship is forever. And you don't go... people who are like, if you don't imagine getting married and having... Like, if you're not dating for marriage, why are you dating? That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I think
I'm
from
sorry.
18 to like 23, 24, even 25, date for fun, not for marriage.
Yeah. Because what a toxic way to go into a relationship to be like, well, I want to get married to this person and they're treating you like shit.
Exactly.
That's so terrible.
Again, if you get married, then you've got 70 years with them.
Literally. And also
and like 20 years with yourself.
Too much paperwork.
Oh, so much paperwork.
Too much paperwork.
Yeah.
But yes, I think date for fun in your 20s.
Yeah.
I agree. Go on a trip.
Yes, with your best friend.
Yes. Go on a long trip.
That was one of the best things we ever did was America.
Yeah. It was the most incredible. I mean, it's still some of my favorable 6 months of my whole life.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's because you learn whether you can live with your best friend.
Yeah.
But traveling with someone really shows you who they are as a person.
Yes. And just have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah. That's not a mistake though. But
no,
anyway,
no. But I was going to say, you have to have a trip where you feel like you're running out of money by the end of it.
Yeah. Spend all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an investment. That's a good investment.
It's investment on memories, and also like that is one thing you will never regret.
And you can come home piss poor.
Yeah.
And
start
live with
again.
your parents and start again. Yeah.
It's funny,
100%.
before making this trip, I went and saw a few of my clients who I used to train at the gym. And they're older than I am. And I was freaking out because I'd been in a relationship where finances were so important. And I had this nest egg of savings, whatever. And I was like, yeah, but if I can't work, then all of my money is going to go. And I just like, what am I going to do? And one of them said to me, they were like, you make it back. And I was like, oh yeah. Like you can do that. But it's like, there's always ways to make money.
Yeah, there is.
Especially in your early 20s. Go fucking sling beers at a bar. Like you'll be fine.
Have the energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh my God.
Go for a trip with your best friend and nearly run out of money. That's what I say.
What other mistakes? This is going to be controversial.
Yes.
Get super drunk in your 20s. Do it once in your 20s because you'll recover a lot quicker. And just find out early on how horrible it is. So then you never do it again.
Also, it's a good way to test your limits. But now I know that a couple is enough to get me happy.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Get drunk in your 20s.
Get drunk in your 20s.
That's another t-shirt, I think.
Try careers that you want to try, I think.
Yeah.
Try a shitty job. Try a good job. Try a desk job. Try whatever the hell you want. Mm-hmm. Give it a go, because unless you give it a go, you don't know. Yeah,
it's true. And also, don't stick with a uni degree just because you started it. If you get into it and you're like, ooh, accounting is not for me.
Yeah.
Pivot.
Yep. Switch.
It doesn't really matter in the long run.
Yep. Is there any mistakes that you've made that you're like, oh, that was bad, but I'm glad I did it?
See, that was bad, but I'm glad I did it. It's funny. I don't regret anything. I don't.
Don't you have to regret it, but you're like, that wasn't for me.
No. See, a lot of my mistakes were slow burns.
Yeah.
I just think I've made a lot of mistakes in men.
Yeah.
In dating men. The people that I chose.
Yeah.
But in terms of like funny mistakes,
That'd be funny.
I don't know. Color your hair in your 20s. That's what I reckon.
yeah.
Color your have some fucking fun with
Yeah,
that.
chop your hair off.
Yeah.
Color it a bright color.
Yeah, I've been pink, green, blue,
Because
fucking
it's going
go.
to look way better pink at 20 than at 70.
Yeah. Yeah. Cut yourself some slack, god damn it.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, I think just chill out.
Chill in your 20s.
Chill in your 20s.
Just fucking chill.
Just do whatever you want. Make all the mistakes. Do all the things. And
You will always find your way home, I think, in your 20s.
yeah, you don't want to be steadfast down one path thinking, oh, but I've come this far and I might as well just keep going. Like,
Yeah,
pivot.
no.
Do this, do that,
Yeah.
do that.
Life is too short
Yeah.
to keep going.
Uncomfortable. What did you do
Okay.
this week that was uncomfortable?
I didn't shower for 2 days.
Yeah, can we just use that? Not
That
showering.
was uncomfortable.
That was really uncomfortable.
What was even an extra layer of that was doing 2 job interviews feeling like I stank. I know it was online, but I just felt uncomfortable.
when you feel gross, it shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you don't feel good in your skin, it's gonna show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It didn't for me. I'm
that
really
was
good actor.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sleeping was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unhinged questions.
Okay.
Things that shouldn't be asked, but we're gonna ask anyway. What's one thing that you want to do in your 20s that you think you can't do in any other age?
Do stuff naked. In my
Yeah, I feel like your body's gonna be the best in your 20s.
Yeah. And this is actually now I have another thing. You're hot now. Stop caring so much about how you look at every given time, every angle, every this. Like,
do you know how many like photos I wish I took when I was like 18?
oh my God, but this is the thing.
Like 18 to 23, I think.
Yeah.
I think like 22, 23 was my peak. I was like, and I hated my body then.
It's so funny. I was the same. I mean, we all struggle with it on a day-to-day basis. But why?
Yes. Oh my God. I wish I took way more photos. I wish I wore more things.
Yeah, wear what the fuck you want.
I know.
That's one thing I think
Yeah.
in your 20s is just like embrace that body, baby.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Yeah. What does Moira say? Take all the naked photos or something? I'll have to find that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to go into a situation with a man at the moment, do you think that him speaking the same language as you would be a make or break at this given time today?
In my 20s.
In general.
In general.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's how you're going to communicate.
Okay, well, you didn't want to communicate, but that's fine. I was.
Would it be make or break for you?
Well, yeah, because I'm a talker.
He could come home and you'd be like, hi, how's your day? And then he could say in whatever language, oh, I slept with someone else. And you'd be like, oh, that's nice.
But that's what okay, I wasn't talking about relationships. I was talking about the plumber, but that's fine. No, I'm trying to think of something else now.
Unclog other pipes.
Exactly. I was curious whether that was like, is that why you haven't texted him? Oh my God. You just put it into Google Translate on what you like and then swap. Let's go.
Yeah or 9?
9. Wrong hole.
What?
Anyway, you said unhinged. The questions that shouldn't be asked, but I asked it.
But also, imagine in that doing the deed and
At least you know.
And he says something and you're like, yeah. And then
You just have to know yes or no, and that's really important. I feel
no, but
actually.
you won't know what he's asking.
No, I know, but then when it's happening, you just be like 9. I feel like it would actually make it probably like depending on the guy. I feel like it would make it really safe because he would be like, I don't know how to communicate with this person, so it would be very vanilla in my opinion. Because he'd be scared and you'd be scared, and it would be pretty boring. Anyway, that's just what I think. Nice.
Oh my God. Well, it's the time to do it.
It's the time to do it.
Yeah.
We might as well.
Yep.
When in
So
Rome.
if you could not communicate with them at all, but you found them attractive,
If it not a relationship, I couldn't.
oh no, it would be way too hard.
Yeah. But if it was talking like, you know, one night thing, I don't believe that there's a whole lot of communication. I mean, you can. The thing is, you can speak without having to speak in that situation.
Yes.
You know what's good and what's not good.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. What is ja? Ja.
What's sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's such a
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like that is the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening.
We should end it there.
Good chats.
Oh, God help us. All right.
Tune in next week. Good chat.
For more things that we do not know. Good chats.
Good chat.